Let's see how many remembers this. So four type of people surrender to Krishna. So who are these four type of people who surrender to Krishna?
Artha,
Artha,
Jiju, Jignu,
Jignasi,
Jignusa,
okay,
Artha, Artha,
Artharthi,
and Jnani.
Jnani. Okay, what does it translate in English?
That is uh, 1 minute.
One who wants to know absolute truth and one who is a seeker of um, absolute truth.
Seeker of the absolute truth.
The
Yes.
desire of nature.
Yeah, the distressed. Artha means the distressed. The distressed people come to Krishna. And then Artharthi means seeker of wealth. And Jignasi means?
The one who searches for wealth, correct. Yeah.
Jignasi means inquisitive. And then Jnani means one who is in knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Four type of people do not come to Krishna. Who are they?
Duskriti.
Yeah. All of them are Dushkritis. And all of them are Dushkritina. And
Muda.
Muda is the number one. Muda means, what is the meaning of Muda?
Donkey, foolish.
Yeah, ass. Muda means donkey. Means it's very busy, no time for Bhagavad Gita. That is Muda. Grossly foolish. Okay, next.
Naradhama.
Lowest among the mankind. Okay, next one.
Maya prahita jnana.
Maya parta jnana, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion. And the fourth category is?
Asuram bhavam ashrita.
Asurim bhavam ashrita. That is the
demonic principle.
Demonic person. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So let us start with quick prayers. Om Ajnanathimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namare Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Destarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna devotees. Okay, so let us continue. So this is the last verse which we did, 17, but we'll do a recap. Okay. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukriti norjuna arto jignasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarshava. O best among the Bharatas, four kind of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. So I have a question for all of you. What is Krishna referring to all these four type of people as?
Sukritina.
Sukritina, that means pious people. And then, so are all of these pure devotees?
They will become pure devotees
They will gradually
if they give up their material desires.
Yes, if they come in contact with a pure devotee, they will become pure devotee. So they are on the way to become pure devotee, and when they come in contact with a pure devotee, they will become a pure devotee. Okay, right. So the next verse, so that is clear, right? I mean, everybody is a devotee. All of them are great. Krishna is saying all of them are great. All the people, anybody who comes to Krishna is great, no doubt. But having said that, pure devotees are anyabhilashita shunyam. That means they do not have any expectation in return. While these four devotees have something or the other for in expectation, right? So for example, the distressed wants to get the miseries resolved, and the artharthi wants to get some money, seeking some wealth, and jignasi is expecting some intellectual satisfaction or stimulation, and the seeker of the knowledge or the person in knowledge is wanting to merge into the supreme, something like that. So they have some agenda, right? But now Krishna is going to explain how when among these four people, the jnani, especially the journey of a jnani, when the jnani becomes a devotee, when he is the best. Okay, so among these three, jnani is the best, and the jnani also, when he becomes a devotee, he is the best. Okay, let's see that. Tesham jnani nityayukta eka bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnaninyotyartham aham sa cha mama priyaha. Of those The one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to him and he is very dear to me. So the Jnani, if he is engaged in pure devotional service, who is always engaged in pure devotional service, Eka Bhakti Vishishyate Nitya Yukta. Nitya Yukta means always engaged in pure devotional service. Then he is considered to be the best. And Krishna is saying, such a devotee is very dear to me, and he is very dear to me, and I am very dear to him. So how do we understand this? So is this speaking about the impersonalists? Is this verse for the impersonalist?
Yes, Prabhuji.
No.
He will slowly advance himself to impersonalism, then he'll become a Paramatma realize, and then he'll become have realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is in the preparatory stage, Prabhuji.
Yeah, in one way it is for impersonalists, but is it for Mayavadis?
No, not
No,
for
no,
Mayavadis.
no.
It's not for
No,
Mayavadis.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, it's not for the Mayavadi, because Mayavadi, he does not believe in Krishna supremacy, first point, and for him Krishna is Maya. For Mayavadi, God is also Maya, and that's why it's called Mayavadi, right? So everything is Maya, and a Mayavadi does not believe in this relationship that I am very dear to him, he is very dear to me, right? So in a relationship there's a two-way street. So it's like I love somebody and somebody loves me, right? I love Krishna, Krishna loves me, right? There is a relationship there, isn't it? So Mayavadi does not believe in such a kind of relationship, because for him he is only the supreme, right? So there is no relationship. So obviously this is not for the Mayavadi. This is for the the Jnani in a preparatory stage who is on the way to become a pure devotee, and such a devotee is very dear to Krishna. And let us go ahead and see what's the journey when this devotee actually comes to a full consciousness about Krishna. Then what does it happen? I mean, first of all, it's so misleading when we speak about jnana. A lot of time we think that, I don't know why this has been spread widely. When we say jnana, we think that jnana is something else. It is not something related with God. But does it make any sense if you say jnana is something above? Jnana is something above God. How can jnana be something above God? Jnana must be something which says about God, not above God. Makes sense, right? It cannot be above God. It must be about God. So that is jnana. So actual jnana is to understand who is Krishna. Who is he? And how is he creating this universe? And who am I in relation with this creator? And what is my relationship with the creator? This is called perfect knowledge. Correct? Now let us see this. Verse number 18. Anybody wants to read this?
Prabhuji, may I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. उदारा सर्व एवैते ज्ञानी तव आत्मैव मे मतम् अस्तिता सा हि युक्तात्मा मम एवानुत मम गतिम्. Translation: All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and the most perfect goal. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. So here it is said, all the devotees, all these four types of devotees are definitely magnanimous souls. There is no doubt about it. They are all magnanimous souls. Udara sarva ye vaite. Udaratma. They are all Udaratma. Okay, there's no doubt. But Jnani to Atmaiva me matam. But the Jnani, or the person who is in knowledge of Krishna, who understands this Krishna consciousness, who is Krishna? Krishna is saying he's so dear to me, he's so dear to me that I consider himself to be my own self. Like that. And then what is important here, it says Astita Sahi Yuktatma Mamevanuttamam Gatim. By being engaged in my transcendental service, such a kind of this Jnani devotee is sure to attain me, and the highest and the most perfect goal. And here there's a nice quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna is saying, Sadhavo hrudayam mahyam sadhunam hrudayam tvaham madanyate na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. The devotees are always in my heart, and I am always in the heart of the devotees. The devotee does not know anything beyond me, and I also cannot forget the devotee. There is a very intimate relationship between me and the pure devotees. The pure devotees in full knowledge are never out of spiritual touch. Therefore, they are very dear to me. So, what this essentially means is, when Krishna is saying that out of this four, the jnani I consider himself to be my own self. He is actually referring to this kind of a devotee, right? Who cannot forget Krishna, and Krishna also never forgets such a devotee. Okay, and now let us see this jnani, when he becomes like the jnani which Krishna would love. I mean, what kind of knowledgeable devotee Krishna likes? I mean, is it just enough that somebody is in knowledge but not engaged in pure devotional service? It is not, obviously, because in every verse Krishna is clearly saying, for example, in this verse also Krishna said, Astita sahi yuktatma, that means he is in devotional service. In the previous verse also Krishna is saying, Eka bhaktir vishishyate, again he said he must be a devotee. So this is definitely not speaking about those who are not performing devotional service of Krishna at all, and then bringing about some kind of knowledge system and saying this is jnana. Okay, no, that's not what Krishna is talking about very clearly, because every verse is telling that that person must be yuktatma, must be in Krishna consciousness. Now let us see who is the Mahatma. Let us see this. Bahunam Janmanam Ante, 19 verse. Yeah, anybody can read this?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Translation: After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
This is a very important verse. Why is it so important? Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Okay, let's see if we can get the synonyms here. Bahunam means many. Bahuvachan, Ekavachan, Bahuvachan. Bahuvachan, plural, many. Janmanam, repeated births and deaths. Ante, after. Jnanavan, one who is in full knowledge. Mam, unto me. Prapadyate, surrenders. Vasudevaha, the personality of Godhead, Krishna. Sarvam, everything. Iti, thus. Saha, that Mahatma, great soul. Sudurlabha, very rare to see. So the culmination of jnana is to come to this position. Any kind of knowledge must ultimately culminate in this. The topmost knowledge is that which just simply says that Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Krishna is everything. Samahatma Sudurlabha. Why are we saying? Why is it said that, if somebody says that Krishna is everything, then why is it said that such a person is Mahatma? Is something let us try to understand philosophically. Vasudeva means the all-pervasive Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is all-pervasive, right? He is not like a demigod, right? He is pervading entire creation. He is present in every atom of the universe. He is present in every living entity as the super soul. And it is said that he is the living force of the entire creation. So how this entire creation is running is because of that living force Krishna that the entire creation is running. So if we can understand that source, that supreme source, the supreme origin, that supreme personality of Godhead, if we understand, that is like the culmination of knowledge. So if we go by the regular kind of a system, regular kind of a jnani system where you are going through the jnana marga and trying to speculate, it may take many births. Krishna is saying here, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, right? But we see in some other verses, like in the chapter number 8, we will see Krishna will say that Sulabha, Tasyaham Sulabha Partha. He says very easily, Nachiradhena Gacchati. He says immediately you can actually come out of the cross of the repeated birth and death. But here, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. So Jnanavan, a jnani who is taking to the knowledge path, first thing is they will take a lot of time to come to Krishna. And the final point is they have to come to Krishna. That is the final culmination. If they do not come to Krishna and they're simply in the knowledge platform, it's not enough. It is not enough. It's just that they are in an incomplete kind of a state. They have not come to the complete state. So let us go through this. So here it is said, yeah, let's just go to the next verse then. Okay, so any questions on this?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, please.
When we go back to the previous verse, that is 18 and 19, the purport it is mentioned that Lord says that all are magnanimous because anyone who comes to the Lord for any purpose is called a Mahatma or great soul.
Correct.
So that means all the four are great souls,
Yes.
but they have to free themselves of the material desires to become
Right.
a pure devotee.
Correct. They have
And
to, yes.
this kind of a Mahatma is extremely rare who surrenders, who is in knowledge and surrenders.
Right. In
But
knowledge, we have
actually,
to
all are
surrender.
Mahatmas.
Correct. All of them are Mahatma. Even if somebody is there, let us say there is some devotee of Krishna who is not in knowledge also, but surrendered to Krishna, he is still great. Okay, we call, is a devotee. We call that a devotee. But we don't consider, because there are so many people who are like not educated also, right? But they are still very great devotees. Krishna is saying they are still very great, Mahatma. Still they are great because they've surrendered to Krishna, right? They are continuously
Yes.
in contact with Krishna, right? So
Yeah. So,
very great.
but they are a level below pure devotee, and our
Yes.
Prabhupada is a pure devotee. No, Prabhuji is
Yes,
higher
yes.
than Mahatma.
Yes, topmost devotee. Basically, there are three levels. Okay, this is a good point to discuss about this. Yeah,
Uttamadhikari, correct.
there are three levels of devotees. The first level is called the Kanishta Adhikari. The second level is called as the Madhyama Adhikari. Third level is called the Uttama Adhikari.
Yes.
Kanishta Adhikari, the symptom is he believes that Krishna is present in the temple. Okay, he believes that Krishna is present in the temple, Krishna is present in the names like that. That much belief is there. But he is not able to distinguish between who is a devotee, who is not a devotee. Next one is a Madhyama. Madhyama Adhikari. He knows about Krishna, he knows his faith is more firm. And not only that, he is able to distinguish between the devotees of Krishna and those who are not the devotees of Krishna. He is able to make a distinction that, okay, devotees of Krishna need to be given extra respect. So he gives extra respect to the devotees of Krishna. And the Madhyamadhikari, he tries to give knowledge about Krishna to the others. But the only thing that is not present in the Madhyamadhikari is he is not able to perceive Krishna everywhere yet. He has not come to a stage where he is able to see Krishna in everybody's heart and everywhere. But he still knows that, Krishna is present and Krishna, his devotees are very respectable and very worshipable. That much he knows at least. Right? Then comes the Uttamadhikari. Uttamadhikari is one who is able to see Krishna's presence in everybody. Not only that, he is in full knowledge. That means if you ask Uttamadhikari any question, he'll be able to convince others, with quotations from the Shastra. He is very strong, his faith is very firm, and not only he can convince, he can completely remove our doubt. If we have any doubt, he can remove the doubt with the Shastric quotations. So, and that Uttamadhikari devotee is like, is completely at a different level. He's always attracted to hearing Krishna's stories, etc. And that is the topmost. So this is Uttamadhikari, what Krishna is talking about. The topmost, completely in knowledge. Right?
It's our Prabhupada, but we all come somewhere very low.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now comes the topic today. We are transitioning into a topic which is a little difficult sometimes to discuss because some people become emotional and sentimental about it. So kindly, I would like to ask for forgiveness if I say something that hurts you, but I have to present it the way however it is. Okay. So with your permission, we will enter into this topic, which is a little sensitive area, but very important for us to understand this because we are all here not to hear about ignorance or not to hear about half-baked truth, but we want to know the complete truth. We are all assembled here. The reason why we are all here is because we want to hear from Krishna. We want to hear Bhagavad Gita as it is. We don't want to hear anything which is like sugar coating or anything, right? So with that, we will start this. This is the topic. We will start. Okay, any devotees would like to start this? Please read this.
May I read from
Yes. Any one of you, please.
कामैस्तैस्तैर्हृतज्ञाना प्रपद्यन्तेऽन्यदेवताः तन्तन्नियममास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियता स्वया. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Matas. Thank you.
Thank you.
So starting from this verse to the next couple of verses, Krishna will very clearly say that those people who are worshipping the demigods, they are not very intelligent. And this may sound very off for us because most of the time we are worshipping different kinds of demigods, isn't it? So how do we understand this? What is the meaning? Why Krishna is saying that the worshippers of demigods are not very intelligent? Let us try to understand this. Why Krishna is saying so? Because the context is Hinduism is there are so many 33 crore demigods are there, gods are there, and it's so many times in so many Vedas, different places it is encouraged to worship different types of devatas, and different vratas are given, different festivals are there which we celebrate. But here Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is saying that those people who are worshipping demigods are unintelligent and they are not very intelligent. So how do we understand this in a complete perspective is the next couple of verses is our humble attempt. Let's try to see that. So what happens is Krishna has said what is the role of the devatas. He said in the chapter number 3. Do you all remember when Krishna introduced the concept of yajna? Krishna spoke about the devatas. Anybody remembers the context there?
Yes, Prabhuji. It is that you have a mutual relationship with the devatas. You try to please them and they'll please you.
Amazing. Perfect. That's right. So Krishna says that this arrangement of the devatas has been done by me. He says that. So he says that the purpose is, you see, I'll just show the shloka here and let's go through that. We'll get to that context and come back. Because we have to understand this. Because on one side, Krishna is encouraging the worship of demigods through the Vedas and Karma Kanda. On the other side, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying those who worship these demigods are stupid people, like that. So let us see that. So what is the actual meaning of the whole thing? We'll try to understand. So here we see this is the chapter number 3. Let us read these two verses, text number 10 and 11. Anybody can read these translations, text 10 and 11, please.
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna, sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all." Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So Krishna is saying that, in the beginning of the creation, these demigods have demigods have come, and also the sacrifices for Vishnu have come. Demigods and sacrifices have been given. And then they have been blessed, saying that, this sacrifice, this yajna will be performed by the living entities. And when these sacrifices are performed, the demigods will get the part of that sacrifices, and they become pleased. And the demigods, when they become pleased, they will give some kind of a blessings to the living entities. And they say, okay, you will become rich. Now you will become very rich. Now you will get a very nice husband. You'll get a very nice wife, like that. You'll get a lot of children now, like that. Some kind of benedictions the demigods will give. and then there'll be prosperity, right? So, but however, Krishna says that it has to be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So while the demigod worship is created by Krishna himself, these demigods are parts and parcels of Krishna, who are like assistants of Krishna doing the different kinds of activities of the universe. Now Krishna is himself saying here that, you know, if you worship the demigods, you will immediately get some kind of nice benedictions, right? And but then the problem is, you know, the demigods, let us read that verse number 12 also, we'll understand clearly what is the problem. So in charge of the various necessities of life, demigods being satisfied by the performance of yajna will supply all necessities to you, but he who enjoys the gifts without offering the demigods in return is a thief. So if because the demigods are doing so much for us, and if we do not do this yajna sacrifice for them, we will be considered as a thief, because thankless, you know, we are paying electricity bill, we are paying broadband bill, but are we paying the bill to the sun god, are we paying bill to the moon god and all these gods, right? So therefore there is something that we have to give to them, and that is a process of this yajna. But now when he comes to the chapter number 7, Krishna is telling here, kamai staiste ritagnyana prapadyante anya devata. Kamai means desire, taistai means various, ritagnyana means deprived of knowledge, prapadyante anya devata means surrendering to the other demigods. Tam tam niyamam astaya prakrityani yata swaya means based on the corresponding rules and regulations, based on their nature, they get attracted to certain kind of demigods. For example, there are some kind of people who worship Kala Bhairava. So it is said that those people who worship Kala Bhairava and Smashana Bhairava or Chandi, you know, Chandi worship, they are called in the mode of ignorance, tamoguna, mode of ignorance. So those people who are in the mode of ignorance, they worship this kind of demigods. And why do they worship? They want some kind of a benediction. Okay. So because let us see this. There's a very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, which I will show you, that will clear everything about the demigods and things like that. Okay. So we'll go to Srimad Bhagavatam, and yeah, here this is a very nice verse which we'll understand very clearly. So there is this concept of Kula Devata, there is a concept of Ishta Devata, and we are all encouraged, right? You know, we do so many different kind of vratas and all of this sacrifices. Why Vedas are on one side recommending that you do this vrata, you do this sacrifice, and please the demigods, get your benedictions. And on the other side, Krishna is saying, no, that is not very intelligent. No, you should not be doing it. You should be actually surrendering to me. So that we'll understand when we read this verse, we'll understand completely clearly. Okay. So I want one volunteer to please read this verse from starting from here.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
One who desires to be absorbed in the impersonal Brahmajyoti effulgence should worship the master of the Vedas, Lord Brahma or Brahaspati, the learned priest. One who desires powerful sex should worship the heavenly king, Indra, and one who desires good progeny should worship the great progenitors called the Prajapatis. One who desires good fortune should worship Durga Devi, the superintendent of the material world. One desiring to be very powerful should worship fire, and one who aspires only after money should worship the Vasus. One should worship the Rudra incarnations of Lord Shiva if he wants to be a great hero. One who wants a large stock of grains should worship Aditi. One who desires to attain the heavenly planets should worship the sons of Aditi. One who desires a worldly kingdom should worship Vishwadeva, and one who wants to be popular with a general mass of population should worship the Sadhya demigod. One who desires a long span of life should worship the demigods known as Ashwini Kumaras, and a person desiring a strongly built body should worship the earth. One who desires stability in his post should worship the horizon and the earth combined. One who desires to be beautiful should worship the beautiful residents of the Gandharva planet, and one who desires a good wife should worship the Apsaras and the Urvashi society girls of the heavenly kingdom. One who desires domination over others should worship Lord Brahma, the head of the universe. One who desires tangible fame should worship the personality of Godhead, and one who desires a good bank balance should worship the demigod Varuna. If one desires to be a greatly learned man, he should worship Lord Shiva, and if one desires a good marital relation, he should worship the chaste goddess Uma and the wife of Lord Shiva.
Continue, Manas. Next one. Also. Next.
One should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee for spiritual advancement in knowledge and for protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty. One should worship the various demigods. One who desires domination over a kingdom or an empire should worship the Manus. One who desires victory over an enemy should worship the demons, and one who desires sense gratification should worship the moon. But one who desires nothing of material enjoyment should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A
Yeah.
person who has, shall I continue,
Continue, Manas.
Prabhuji? A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. So the culmination is this: a person who has broader intelligence. Akamo sarvakamebhyo mokshakamo udaradhi. Udaradhi means broader intelligence. If you need to have broader intelligence. I'll tell you what is broader intelligence. Okay, after I explain, after we go through these verses of the 7th chapter, let us listen without any bias, okay, without getting emotional. Then it will become very clear what is the meaning of broader intelligence. So if somebody has a broader intelligence, even if he is full of material desire or without any material desire or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the personality, the supreme whole, the personality of God. That means if we have intelligence, even if we have desires or if we don't have desires, we should only worship Krishna. So what does that mean? So Dhruva Maharaj, for example, he was a person who was full of desires or without any desires? Dhruva Maharaj, tell me.
Desires.
He was full of desires, right? And his desire was that he wanted a kingdom which is better than that of his grandfather. And he got that kingdom which is better than that of the grandfather. That is the pole star, North Pole, Dhruva Loka. Not only that, he went back to Godhead, right? And the way it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Dhruva Maharaj went back to Godhead, the death personified came and bowed in front of Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj stepped his feet on the head of death personified, and then he climbed that airplane which was taking back to God. Such a beautiful thing. And there it said that, nobody, no demigod worshipper can ever even dream of going to Dhruva Loka. That means if we worship Krishna, the highest benediction possible, which is Dhruva Loka, can be given by Krishna. But no demigod can give anything close to that. And not only that, in Dhruva Loka, he's personally, he's associating with Lord Vishnu. And he's personally, it's also considered as Vaikuntha. And even after that, he's going to go back to Godhead. So it's like a win-win situation, completely win. So there's nothing to lose. He's completely full of things. So even if somebody doesn't have any kind of a desires, like Parikshit Maharaj, he didn't have any desires. So he went to Shukadeva Goswami and he worshipped, Krishna. And he went back to God, right? So, but what we understand here is, see, so many desires are there here. I have a desire to become absorbed in impersonal Brahma Jyoti, have sensual relationship or have a lot of children. I want to have a very nice family life, or I want to have a lot of education. I want to have a lot of family, like I want to go to heavenly planets. Right? I want to become very popular. I want to live for a long life. I want to be very strong. I want to look very beautiful, right? I want a very beautiful looking wife. All this. You tell me, is this a nice thing to have this kind of desires? Is this nice for our spiritual life? What do you think?
No,
The list
Prabhuji.
is never ending, Prabhuji.
The list is not ending here, right?
Yes.
So we say this day he, that day he, they he. How much? There's no end for it. Desire is not a good thing, devotees. Right? That first of all, let us agree upon that. Desire is not a good thing. See here, Krishna is explaining here. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of Bharatas, in the very beginning, this great symbol of lust, right? He's saying, see, thus the wise living entity, pure consciousness is covered by the eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satiated and which burns like fire. This is like a fire, okay? Today I want this, tomorrow I want that, day after tomorrow I want that. It is just growing on like that, like a fire. But Krishna is saying, curb this fire. This is the eternal enemy. Krishna is saying, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So ultimately it is this lust or kama which is manifesting in so many different ways, that I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. And therefore when I want this and I want that, Krishna has made an arrangement that okay, you go and worship the demigods and you will get whatever you want. Right? See here Krishna is saying, right, because the demigods being satisfied, they will give whatever you want, they will give you. But Krishna may not give. See, if Krishna feels that this is not good for you, he won't give. Generally he will not give. Right? It is so difficult to impress Krishna. But we see that the demons very easily go to the other devatas and they get quickly they get their benedictions. And they don't come to Krishna because they know that Krishna is not going to give them. But now do you understand why Krishna doesn't give? Why doesn't Krishna give? Can anybody say? Why doesn't Krishna give us? If we simply ask that, give me this, give me that, give me that. Why doesn't Krishna give?
He doesn't want us to get entangled in this material desires.
He doesn't want us to get entangled into this material world. And especially when he feels that if we have a lot of these accumulated things which will make us very proud, he will definitely not give us. Because there are some things which will make us very proud. A good birth, having a lot of riches, and having a lot of education, and beautiful looks, being very youthful. These all give mada, pride. And in that pride, what will happen is, why should I surrender to Krishna? Why should I surrender to Krishna? This will come to us. When this comes, our life is wasted. Right? Our life is wasted. Therefore, Krishna is saying here, Kamaistai jnana, because of the desires and because of not having this knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is knowledge which is like a sun. Right? It says knowledge is like the fire which burns away pile of sins into ashes. Right? That is so powerful knowledge. So this knowledge, when it is not there, it manifests as kama. Then I want desires. There are desires. Kama is taisai hrita jnana. No knowledge, lot of desires. Then what will happen? Manifestation. Prapadyante anya devata. Tam niyamam astaya prakrutya niyata svaya. And these demigod worshippers, what they will do is, they'll start worshipping the demigods by following all the rules, regulations, everything. Particularly they will follow, okay, we have to wake up at this morning, we have to do this, we have to do that. All the rules, regulations they will follow. And they will get whatever they want. And then, now let us see, this is very interesting. Even the faith that they get, if we get some faith on a demigod, okay, I want to worship Ganapati, I want to worship Devi, Durga Devi. So this faith also, who is giving the faith? Who is giving the faith? Let us see that. Okay, verse number 21. Please read, anybody. 21 verse, anybody wants to read?
Hare Krishna.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, then with pranam. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Text 21. Yo yam tanum bhakta shraddhayarchitam ichchati tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham.
Yes.
Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So we see in the Sanatana Dharma, the different kinds of devotees are there. There are some devotees of Surya, some devotees of Durga Devi, some devotees of Lord Shiva, like that, Ganapati devotees, all different types of devotees are there. Now, the faith that they get towards the deity, Krishna is saying that even to get the faith also, I must only give the faith. Because if Krishna doesn't give the faith, we will not even get the faith to worship any demigod. So the faith to worship the demigod also is given by Krishna. And you can ask, why is Krishna giving? Krishna, if he doesn't like us to worship the demigods, if he wants us to only worship him, then why is he giving us the freedom to or giving the faith to worship the particular deity is also explained. It is explained because Krishna gives a freedom to the living entities. So whatever they want, let them enjoy. So because he gives some that kind of freedom, if Krishna steals away the freedom, what is the meaning of freedom? So Krishna wants to give freedom. So here it is said, Krishna gives freedom, and unless that devotee worships that demigod, he will not get whatever desire he wants. Okay, and I'll tell you a story also. Okay, after this. Okay, let's go to this. Verse number 22. Anybody wants to read this? Verse number 22. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
1 minute, Prabhuji. Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasyaradhanamihate Labhate cha tatah kaman mayaiva vihitan hitan. Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So what do we understand from this? That who is giving the benedictions ultimately? So we are worshipping demigods. We are getting benedictions. Ultimately, who is the Upadrushta Anumanta? Who has to give the permission? Who is the overseer and permitter?
Krishna.
Krishna has to give the permission. Only when Krishna gives permission, things will happen. So it's like this, okay? You can go directly to the officer, to the government and put a petition, and the government will reject. But you can also go through back door and you can get your things done, right? So something like that. Back door, the work can be done, but it is back door. It is not a straight path, right? Because straight path, Krishna is not ready to give. But if you are going to come through the demigod, he will give. It's like that. So I'll tell you a story, okay? So how many of you have heard about Shamantakamani?
Shamantakamani, yeah.
Shamantakamani. So Satrajit, there was a king called Satrajit. Satrajit was a devotee of sun god. And he was a great devotee of sun god. And he was given this jewel. We call Kohinoor jewel, right? We say Kohinoor jewel is so special. But Shamantakamani is the, very special jewel. We saw the movie Lord of Rings. Because of one ring, there is so much of fight that happens. Like that Shamantakamani, because of this money, so much will happen in the future. So much story happens just revolving around this money. And see what happens at the end also, the story. This Satrajit was a great king. He was living near Dwarka, and then he is worshipping the sun god. And the sun god has become very happy, and he has given the Shamantakamani. And this Shamantakamani is so special that every day it will you can generate so many kilos of gold. Lot of gold can be created from it. Wherever this Shamantakamani is there will not be any drought or any kind of famine, and people will be happy around. So now Satrajit has got this, and he's become very happy. Now he's like shining, so much of light coming out of this Shamantakamani. So he made a very nice necklace, and he came to meet Krishna. He came to Dwarka. Then everybody was seeing and say, oh my God, sun god has come, sun god has come. And they came running to Krishna and said, sun god has come to see you. So many gods are already coming. Indra has come, all the Varuna has come. They all have given you so many things. Now sun god has come. But Krishna knew it was Satyajit. So he's come, Satyajit has come. And he said, see this, how is it? He's telling to Krishna. Okay, Krishna says, may I suggest you something? Then Satyajit says, yes, you can suggest. I think it would be appropriate if you give your jewel to the king, Ugrasen Maharaj, because he is the king. So whatever valuable, it must be with the king. And if this is there with the king, all the people of Dwarka also will be happy. I think it will be good for you. This is my advice. Then what did Satyajit say? Satyajit just went off. He scoffed and went off. Who will give? I will not give. And then what happens? This Shamantakamani, he gives it to his brother Prasena. And that Prasena is missing. We don't know what happened to Prasena. Prasena missing, Shamantakamani missing. So immediately Satyajit started a rumor. He started saying everywhere that, it is Krishna who stole the jewel. Why? Because openly in front of everybody he asked that, please present that jewel to the king. So he was asking for himself. He is saying that, Krishna wanted it and he asked me, because I did not give him, he saw that my brother went for hunting, so he killed him and took it. So he started spreading this kind of a rumor. So Krishna, he goes and he tries to find out, trace what happened, and he sees that the place where Prasena died, there's also a lion, traces of a lion there. And he sees that the lion has moved to a cave and it was killed there. He goes inside the cave and he sees Jambavan there. Okay. And then Jambavan, after seeing Jambavan is a great devotee of Krishna. In the previous this one, he was a great devotee of Ramchandra, right? He did such a big role in Ramayana. Now after seeing Jambavan is not able to recognize. You can say maybe it is because of this, again, because of the influence of that money. You see how wealth can take us away from God, right? So again, this Jambavan did not recognize Krishna and he challenged. So Krishna said, I need that jewel. Please give it to me. It is ours. Then he says, you have to fight and then let us fight. And they fight for 28 days and tirelessly. And then that's when Jambavan realizes that there is nobody in this universe who is as strong as me. And this person is defeating me. I think he is my Lord. And then he says, yes, you are my dear Lord. You are Lord Ramachandra. And when he realizes that, Krishna says, yes, I am only Ramachandra. So please give me that money. I have to take that Shamantaka money and I have to prove to Satyajit that it is not stolen by me. Right? So he, along with that, he gives his daughter also Jambavati in wedding. So Krishna marries Jambavati. And he goes to, so he calls Satyajit to a meeting hall. And then he shows this Satyajit that, this is the Shamantaka money that you were talking about. And here it is. This is what has happened. Okay, now you can take it. Right? Now, Satyajit was feeling very bad. He was very embarrassed in front of everybody because he spread a wrong rumor. And now he has been embarrassed in front of everybody. So, and then he also realized that it is very inauspicious that, offending Krishna like that is very bad. So he said, please marry my daughter and take this money. I mean, externally, he didn't want to give that money. He wanted to keep that himself. So Krishna knew his heart that, he wanted. So he said, okay, you keep that money, you keep that Shamantaka money, you keep. I'll marry Satyabhama. So Satyabhama is married. But later what happens? For that Samantaka money, there are three people who start plotting to kill Satyajit. And then they will come, Krutavarma. Krutavarma will go and he will kill Satyajit. He will slaughter him, butcher him and take that. And then there's a long story that happens. It goes to Akrura and Krishna will call Akrura. Finally, it will come. So finally, the moral of the story is, see, if we go behind these desires, right, and if we ignore the instructions of Krishna, the result is of what happened to Satyajit, that is the only result that will happen to anybody. Are you understanding? So, first of all, Krishna is saying here that if anybody wants something, let us say now Satyajit wanted that Samantakamani, Sun God has given to him. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Mayeva Vihitan Hitan. It is me who has given it. Ultimately, Krishna only gives it. So, because Krishna has ultimately given it, if we ignore Krishna's instruction And if we act like Satrajit, enviously against Krishna, then that is very dangerous. It has led to his assassination, Satrajit's assassination. So similarly, it will lead to our spiritual assassination. Our spiritual life will be assassinated in the sense that we will never be able to go back to Godhead if we ignore these instructions of Bhagavad Gita. Right? So let us go back and see what happened and what happens next. And Krishna, how he is explaining, okay, word by word, very clearly Krishna is explaining without mincing any words here. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and abstains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Mayeva vihitan hitan. Just like Hiranyakashipu worshipped Lord Brahma. And what was the boons he asked? What was the boons he asked? I should not be killed in the daylight, I should not be killed in the night, I should not be killed outside, I should not be killed inside. This, that, so many rules. Finally, he was killed by Lord Narasimha. Ravana, he worshipped Lord Shiva and he asked for so many boons. And he got so many boons from Lord Shiva. But ultimately, he was killed by Ramachandra. So the point is, the demigods even cannot award benedictions also without the permission of the Supreme Lord. Because Ishopanishad says, Isha-vasyam idam sarvad yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Means everything belongs to Isha. Everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. So every property is Supreme Lord. So the demigods are there. They are an arrangement of Krishna for, the unintelligent people. Because by birth we are unintelligent. Most of the living entities are unintelligent. But Krishna is saying, don't remain in unintelligent. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. We have to rise out of darkness, ignorance, to knowledge, to light. Right? Mrutyoma amrutangamaya. We have to come to the immortal consciousness. We cannot stay in that level. So the worship of the demigods and achievement of desired results are not due to the demigods, but due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead's arrangement. The less intelligent living entity does not know this, and therefore he foolishly goes to the demigods for some benefit. But the pure devotee, when in need of something, prays only to Supreme Lord. Asking for the material benefit, however, is not a sign of a pure devotee. A pure devotee never wants any material benediction, isn't it? And a living entity goes to the demigods, usually because he's mad to fulfill his lust. This happens when something undue is desired by the living entity and the Lord himself does not fulfill the desire. The problem is, Father is not giving what I want. So what will I do? I'll go to uncle, I'll go to Dadaji, something like that, right? I'll go to auntie. So father says, don't take this, this is not good for you. I'm not going to buy this. You have got grade 4 tonsils and you'll be finished if you eat this ice cream and all. Okay, I'm never going to buy this. But this guy is adamant. He'll go to auntie, uncle, somebody, kaka, kaki. And he says, please give me ice cream. They'll say, please, come. How many ice creams do you want? I want 3. Okay, take 3. What happens next? Is that good? Is that correct? So giving indiscriminately without checking whether somebody deserves it or not, is this correct or wrong? Tell me.
Totally
It's not
wrong. We'll end up getting
correct.
Hiranyakashipus and Ravanas.
Yes, it's so dangerous. It's not good for us. So, but the demigods have to give it because that is their duty. That is a duty that Krishna has given to them. So they do it. They're just following their duty. But it is that they are not independent competitors of the Supreme Lord, like many people think. That based on the season, God changes. God is not a seasonal God, right? God is God in every season, isn't it? It's not that this is this season, now God has changed. Here is one competitor for God. Here is another competitor for God. There is no competition for God, right? Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. There is nobody beyond me. There is nobody equal to me. There is nobody beyond me. It is just because of the 3 modes of material nature, people are not able to understand. That's what Krishna is explaining in the 7th chapter. That's why it's so important this chapter is. Krishna is saying, because mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramavayam. All the living entities are born in delusion because of the 3 modes of material nature, which is the external energy of Krishna, Because we are in the delusion of the three modes of material nature, we do not understand the position of Krishna. And because we are under so many desires, we surrender to different demigods and not surrender to Krishna. And because of that, we are losing the opportunity to go back to home, back to Godhead. So, for a living entity who is desiring to return to Godhead, material desires are impediments. A pure devotee of the Lord is therefore not awarded the material benefits desired by less intelligent living entities, who therefore prefer to worship demigods of the material world rather than engage in the devotional service of the Lord. So, but to this, many people will object and say, no, your interpretation is wrong. I think you are wrong. You worship any god. God is God. Okay, every god is God. You can't say this god is God, that god is not God. You worship every god, the result is the same. Let us see if Krishna has got something to tell to that as a response to that. Okay, 23. Anybody wants to read this?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Antavatu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpam medasam devan deva yojo yanti mad bhakta yanti mam api.
Please read the synonyms also.
Okay, Prabhuji. Antavat perishable, two, but phalam fruit, tesham there, tat bhavati becomes alpa medasam of those of small intelligence, devan to the demigods, deva yajaha the worshippers of the demigods, yanti go mat my, bhakta devotees yanti go mam to me, api also. Translation. Prabhuji. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Matthew. So here is the answer for those who object that everybody is God, every God worship is the same, every God worship will give the same thing. What are the two differences that Krishna has said in this? The worship of Krishna versus worship of demigods. Who can read the translation and tell me? Explain, everybody. What are the two differences that Krishna is saying? The difference between worshipping Krishna and worshipping the demigods or the devatas.
The fruits are temporary, and when we worship to the demigod, we go to the demigod planet.
Yes.
But when you worship to Krishna, you go to the highest planet, which is Goloka.
And the fruits are
Limited when you worship to
when you
demigod.
worship Krishna. What about the fruits?
Pure devotional service.
Yeah, that is limited. Is that limited?
Unlimited.
Unlimited. So you will get unlimited
And permanent.
Yeah, it's like permanent Sukruti. Okay, see, any devotional service that we perform to Krishna, it is a permanent asset. That means, for life after life after life, it's an asset of forever for us. First thing. So three differences actually we can bring it out from here. There's a third difference also. What is the third difference? The first line is saying the third difference.
Planet, supreme planet, people is it.
Yeah, that is the third difference. What is the first difference?
All intelligence, the people who are like ignorant worship the demigods.
Yeah. Then who will worship Krishna?
Magnanimous.
Devotees.
Devotees, and what about them? Are they less intelligent?
No, they are fully intelligent.
Gyanis.
Yeah, let us just see what Krishna said. When Krishna said, my devotees, when he said this, what did he say that? Just 2 verses back we read this.
Full of knowledge, and he will
After
have
many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes of that is, such a great soul is very rare. Krishna is saying, my devotees are very rare, they are very great souls. Mahatma, Sudurlabha, very rare. They're so great. And when it comes to the demigod worshippers, he is saying, those whose intelligence has been stolen by the material desires, they worship the demigods. And then he's also saying here, and those who are alpa medasam. Alpa medasa means Medasa means brain substance, right? Means brains. Medas means what? Brain substance. Alpa means what? Means small brain, less intelligent, very less, very little brain substance. So Alpa Medasam, those who are very less intelligent, don't have the complete picture. Big picture, they do not know what is going on. The complete big picture, they just go to the Devatas and they start worshipping. And they think they are getting some benedictions. The big picture is Krishna is only giving the benedictions. The big picture is they're getting some temporary fruits. For that temporary fruit, they are taking so much of difficulty, they're doing different kinds of fasting, they're doing so many things for a temporary fruit. What is it that you're getting ultimately by doing that? We saw that in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So there's a big list. If you want good marital life, worship Uma. If you want good knowledge, worship Lord Shiva. If you want to live long life, worship Yashwini Kumaras. If you want impersonal liberation, worship Lord Brahma. Right? So like that, a long list of things. All of these fruits that we are getting, they are antavattu phalam teja. That means it is perishable results. It's not a permanent result. It's not permanent result. Isn't it? To get a large stock of grains, you have to worship, it is given, right? Some maruts or something, some devatas is given. So to get a large stock of grain, is that a imperishable result? No, right? So when we worship Krishna, we get to go back to home, back to God.
Prabhuji, one
Yes,
thing
please.
I want to add, please,
Yes, please.
Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Nowhere you've read so much in Bhagavatam. Nowhere there is a mention of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, which is what we want to conquer, and that only Krishna can give us. In that entire list, this is not there at all.
Yes. Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's very clear.
It's so clear. When I gave an entire list, it said if you want liberation, you should worship either Lord Vishnu or his devotee. It is given simply. If you worship the Lord Vishnu or Lord Vishnu's devotee,
Yes,
you become
Prabhuji.
liberated. If you want liberation, that is, we should do that. If you want permanent
Those are the
results.
real problems.
Yeah, the real problem is Janma Mrityu Jaravati, birth, death, old age, disease. We want to get rid of it permanently. So if you want to get rid of permanently, then we have to take up this austerity. It's okay if Krishna doesn't give us all the benedictions that we look forward for, which the other demigods may be giving. But he knows what is the best thing for me. So I will only ask for the best thing that is good for me. Right? So like that, we have to understand this. So there is another interesting thing Prabhupada says here. Why did Krishna say that demigod worshippers are foolish? The answer Prabhupada is saying, how do you eat food? How do you eat food? What is the process of eating food? Anybody can say?
But take it in the hand and put it in the mouth.
Putting in the hand, putting inside the mouth. And where does it finally go?
Stomach.
To the stomach. Correct? So in the Bhagavatam it is said, if the entire body, in the entire body, Krishna is like the stomach. So if you want to nourish your body, what you have to do? Which part you have to supply the food to nourish the entire body? There is one part if you send it food, it will nourish the entire body, that is the stomach. Correct? But then for this, one devotee of Prabhupada raised an objection. But Prabhupada, you are saying, right, through the stomach we have to give the food. But sometimes we give through IV also, no? Then IV we are giving, right? Then we are not giving to the stomach. What about that? And Prabhupada said that is diseased condition. That is diseased condition. When you are diseased, you give like that, not to a normal person. Normal person doesn't take food through the eyes, ears, or you don't put food through this or food to your eyes or anything. You put in the mouth. So similarly, it is said, if you want to root, if similarly tree is there is root and the leaves. Where do you water the tree? You put water to the roots of the leaves, roots of the tree, or to the leaves?
Roots of the tree.
Roots of the tree.
Prabhuji. It is Krishna root.
That is, Krishna is the root of the material universe. Krishna is the origin. So if Krishna yasmin tushte jagat tushtaha, if you simply make Krishna satisfied, the entire creation becomes satisfied. all the demigods become fully satisfied if you simply satisfy Krishna. So the goal of life is to satisfy Krishna. That is yajnartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. If we simply do whatever activity that we do, we have to do it as an offering to Lord Vishnu. That's it. If we do this much, that is enough. That will satisfy all the demigods. All the demigods become so pleased simply by doing this one single thing. Otherwise, we will have to go to each and every demigod and please them, which is impossible. We have to go to each and every 33 crore demigods. We have Devaruna, we have so many Runa, we have so much of depth for different demigods. Otherwise, we'll become a sthena eva hisaha. We'll become a thief. If we worship one demigod and leave the other demigod, then that demigod is not getting something. If you pick up one and leave, somebody is left out. But if you pick up Krishna, it is like root of the universe. Everybody is in Krishna. That's why he showed the universal form. So when Krishna showed the universal form, he showed all the demigods were present there. He said all the Ekadasha Rudras were there, Ashtavasus were there, and Dvadasha Adityas were there. All the Devatas were present in the universal form of Krishna. Right? So Krishna is all-encompassing Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all the demigods are a parts of him. We are also parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Demigods are also parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, but they are having a special function. They have special powers. But nevertheless, we do not know the greatness of Krishna. They know very well. They know very well. So when we go and tell to the demigods that you are the Supreme, they understand. They know that. We know who we are. Okay, you want the benediction, please take it. But you don't need to tell who I am. I know what is my position. Like that, they are very clear about their position. It is that we do not know what is their position. So that is the position that Krishna is clearing. Okay, what is it? Let's go ahead. Anybody has any questions?
Yes, Prabhuji, one practical question.
Yes, please.
Then the routine traditional pujas which all we've been doing all these years, like Ganpati, then Lakshmi, Varlakshmi, then what all we had this Shravan Masam and all those things. They have to be, we should stop them, Prabhuji, or can continue, I don't know. Because I got invited by one Mataji for Lakshmi Puja. I went and took the prasadam and I came.
Yes, Mataji. See, the point is this. There are different types of fire sacrifices Krishna has explained. So in that Bahuvida Yajna, one of the Yajnas is worship of the demigods. Do you remember that? This comes in the chapter number 4.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. There are different types of Yajna. One type of Yajna is Yoga Yajna. Doing the pranayam practice is also one Yajna. Worship of demigods is also one type of Yajna. It is a purification process. Okay. So it is like, we just have to understand that it is but it is a Yajna which is meant for the less intelligent people. It is for the Abuddhaya, which is given here. Buddha bhavasam, Buddha means intelligent. Abuddhaya means less intelligent. It is a Yajna which is meant for the less intelligent people. So we should try to become intelligent. That's it. That's all I can say. And then when we become
So we should excuse ourselves from going there, or
it is better if it is socially very difficult to say no, then we have to go. But if it is possible, it is better to avoid, is what I say. Because when we go there, we will also get that kind of faith will spread, and again our knowledge will get covered by Maya. We may again come to a conclusion that okay, this demigod is the supreme and let me surrender, something like that, and then all our knowledge is again stolen by Maya. The purpose gets defeated again. It's a little difficult. It's a kind of a slippery floor.
If we are careful, we just pray and come back. That's it.
We can carefully manage. We can just go and pray and come back quickly.
Pray and come back, because we should not hurt anybody.
Yeah, we don't want to hurt anybody, but at the same time, we should not get hurt also.
Okay.
When I prayed to other demigods, I prayed that yes, you are part and parcel of Lord Krishna, that I've read in Bhagavad Gita. So through you, I'm worshipping Lord Krishna. I did that way.
Yes, Mats. If you that is a way which we can take a, what do you say, a kind of a
help me in my devotional service to Krishna. Let me progress.
It's like a bridge kind of a step that you can take until you get the complete faith. This will help you. This attitude will help you. Yes.
It's only about honoring the service now, Prabhuji.
Yes, Maharaj.
So it shouldn't be.
We do not insult the demigods. That's very important, because when we are saying chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it is said one of the offenses is when we offend a demigod, it is an offense to the Harinama. We don't offend any demigod. Prabhupada writes we don't even offend even a normal human being. Why will we offend demigods who are so special and so are appointed by the Supreme Lord? It's just that we don't agree to the same vision that others say, that everybody is an independent God, competitors of Krishna. That view we do not accept. That's all. Right?
But it's a sensitive issue, no?
It's very sensitive, Prabhu. Yeah, I understand. It's very sensitive and very emotional. A lot of people become emotional about it. That's why I said we have
Excuse
to
me,
be very.
Prabhuji, I just got a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, when we talk about yajnas,
Yes.
and we are observing fire and all the other ingredients that is being involved into that, I mean, rather, put into the fire, is it not a symbolic connection of individual soul to the cosmos, or, I mean, how do you look at that way? And because
See,
for me, the understanding
is
is, you are talking about
to.
fire.
Yeah, fire. Yeah, of course it is. It's when we say
So, and
Swaha.
you are also talking about a lot of other elements that is being involved in that yajna, actually. So, is it an indirect way of saying that is this individual soul of ours is connected to the cosmos, actually?
Yeah, kind of that. When we say that idam namama, we put the mantras. Idam namama means this is not mine. This is not mine. So we are offering and we are saying this is not mine. So we are trying to get that attitude that this is not mine. This belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to God. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. So we are practicing that. So that is called Dravya Yajna. So the fire is considered to be the tongue of Vishnu. So it is said that Lord Vishnu eats through fire. It's one of the tongues of Vishnu is fire. So Yajna Purusha, we are offering to that Yajna Purusha through the fire offerings, food to eat. It's like that. It's for our purification. We have spoken about it in great detail, right? What is Yajna? It is meant for our purification, basically. You're offering something to Lord, which you're saying, we want to give up that attitude of ahankara, that ahankara and mamakara, that this is mine and I am this so and so, like that. We want to give it away and say, this is not mine. Idam na mama. It is not mine. It actually belongs to you and I'm giving it back to you, like that. That's the idea. Okay? All right. Okay, let us read this. This Yamunacharya has written a nice verse here. Let us read this from the Stotra Ratna, verse number 12. I would like one devotee to please read this paragraph. Hare Krishna. Yeah, please go ahead.
My dear Lord, devotees like Vyasadeva and Narada know you to be the personality of Godhead. By understanding different Vedic literatures, one can come to know your characteristics, your form, and your activities, and one can thus understand that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, the demons, the non devotees, cannot understand you. They are unable to understand you, however expert such non devotees may be in discussing Vedanta and the Upanishads and other Vedic literatures. It is not possible for them to understand the personality of Godhead. Stotra Ratna 12. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here the Acharya, Yamunacharya is saying very clearly that those who are in the mode of passion and mode of ignorance, they worship the demigods. It is said very clearly, okay, those who are in the mode of goodness, they worship the Shaligrama Shila. Those who are in the mode of mode of goodness, they worship the Shaligrama Shila. Those people who are in the mode of passion, they worship, as far as I know, it was like Ganesha and Shiva, something like that. Those people who are in the mode of ignorance, they worship Chandi, Kali, and Smashana Bhairava, Kala Bhairava, etc. So it is a consciousness, okay? It is just the consciousness, okay? When you are worshipping the Shaligrama Shila, there's a lot of difference between worshipping Shaligrama Shila and worshipping Smashana Bhairava and Chandi Bhairava, right? There's a lot
Prabhuji,
of
I had
difference.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a hard follower of Kali Mata. So,
Yes, ma'am.
how do we interpret that? Because he
Um,
was a guru himself, very well known.
he's well known, he's famous, but I mean, as far as our sampradaya is concerned, we do not consider him as a spiritual master. Unfortunately, I mean, this is a very sensitive topic. I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody, but the thing is, we when we see who is a spiritual master, our yardstick of seeing if a person is a spiritual master is or not is just based on only one thing. Krishna Tattva Veta say Guru hoy. If somebody knows the Krishna Tattva, he is called as Guru. Otherwise, we do not consider. I mean, we respect great saintly people. It's definitely undoubtedly very great personality. But we do not consider him as an acharya, not in the status of Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Srila Prabhupada. We do not consider, we do not give such status to that. We give saintly people, we say saintly people, that's all. But we do not consider their philosophy or their standard or their examples as something that we should imitate. We do not consider it as a standard example. I mean, not to criticize, but he was also consuming meat as what do you say, flesh which is offered to Kali. As far as our sampradaya is concerned, meat eating is one of the prohibited activities. Prabhupada says, yes, people can offer to flesh to Kali and eat on the Amavasya, but that is a way of regulation to bring them to the mode of goodness. That is how it is. Okay, it's like that, Mataji. So I mean, not to just instigate anybody, but here this verse is actually saying the same thing. I mean, if I just connect it back to what you're saying, however expert a non-devotee can be in Vedanta, in Upanishads, they can be experts, they can be very famous, but it is not possible for them to understand the personality of Godhead. Because Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam samay yukta tamo mataha. That means among all the yogis, there are different types of yogis are there. We respect all the yogis. But such yogis, sarvesham api sarvesham, among all those yogis, the topmost yogis are these Mahajanas. Who are these Mahajanas? Who are our standard? Can anybody say who are our standard? Okay, we have said who are not our standard. Then who is our standard? Do we have a better standard than these great personalities? Let us find out. Who are our can anybody say who are the 12 Mahajanas whom we follow?
Bhishma Pitamaha,
Bhishma Pitamaha is our standard. Next.
Narada Muni,
Narada Muni is our standard. Next.
Bali Maharaj,
Bali Maharaj is our standard. Next.
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj is our standard.
Parikshit,
Yes.
Sukadeva Goswami,
Sukadeva Goswami is our standard.
Purushottama.
Purushottama. 4 Kumaras.
4 Kumaras,
Prahlad Maharaj is our standard.
Janaka Maharaj. Prabhu.
Janaka Maharaj is our standard.
Dhruva.
Dhruva Maharaj is our standard. Okay. Lord Shiva is our standard. And Lord Brahma is our standard. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, the 4 Kumaras, Kapila Muni, Narada Muni, Bhishma Pitamaha, Narada, and Vyasadev and Shukadeva Goswami. We are considering them as our standards whom we follow. We follow in their footsteps. Okay? So, yes, let us go ahead.
Prabhuji, just one thing.
Yes,
Like, is Ma Lalita Tripur Sundari in an incarnation of Ma Lakshmi, like consort of Lord Vishnu?
See, Mataji, Lalita Tripura Sundari, they are all devatas, right? and they are all external energy of Krishna. Lalita is the external energy of Krishna, isn't it?
Yeah, internal potency.
Not internal, external potency.
External potency.
Internal potency is Radharani. Internal potency is Lakshmi, right? So from Lakshmi, there are different, incarnations that come, and Lakshmi's incarnation is Lalita Devi, Durga Devi, like that. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha. Durga, goddess Durga is meant for the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe is carried out by her energy. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha. Mayeva Bhuvanani Bhibarti Durga. So she is Maya. With the help of Maya, the Supreme Lord is creating and conducting this universe, creation, maintenance, and destruction. So she is Durga. Okay, Lalita Devi. So when we worship the origin of Lalita Devi, that is a Yoga Maya. We worship Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is Radharani.
Okay, that is internal potency.
Internal potency, yes, that is a bhakti potency. Okay.
I always, whenever I worshipped her, I saw her as Mahalakshmi, an incarnation of Mahalakshmi.
Yeah, you can worship as Yoga Maya. Same Yoga Maya, Mahamaya is the same. Different. It's like iron, gold. Okay, gold and iron. So Yoga Maya is internal potency of the Lord. If you think that Lalita Devi is the supreme devotee, she's a devotee of the Lord, like that, in that mood, if you worship, then she becomes Yoga Maya. But if you think that she is an independent demigod who is a competitor of Krishna, then she becomes Mahamaya. Then she will give us benedictions. Clear, no?
Clear.
You have to worship as a devotee of the Lord. Just like when Krishna was born. How many of you know this pastime? Before Krishna was born, 8th incarnation, right? So what happens next? So who was born first? There's a girl child who comes, right, in the stomach of Devaki.
Yes, Yog Maya.
Yeah, Yog Maya. And then this Kamsa dashes her against the wall. And then actually the Kamsa is a devotee of Durga. It's a Kali Bhakta is actually. So then Yogamaya, Durga Devi comes and she says, you are a fool and you will be killed by Krishna. Right? And at that point of time, Krishna will give benedictions to her. She will say that you will become very, very famous and people will call you in so many names. People will worship you. This is my benediction to you. Like that. Okay? This is the bigger picture. Okay? Hare Krishna. I have entered into a very dangerous territory. Sorry, devotees. Let's go. I think we'll stop here. Hare Krishna. We'll continue next class. Hare Krishna, devotees. Dhanavad pranams. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So
Thank
I
you,
hope
Prabhuji.
it was a little bit of
Krishna.
clarity. I hope it was a little bit clear after today's class.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Or confusion increased. So
No, clear, very clear.
Clear.
okay.
Crystal clear.
Okay, thank you. If anybody of you have still some confusion, no problem, that's normal. What I can only say is, please read Bhagavad Gita again and again until your confusion is clear. That's it, and everything will be clear. Okay? Fine.
But
Thank you.
Prabhuji, sorry to disturb you on the last question.
Yes,
because in verse 19, it is mentioned after many births and death, he is actually in knowledge, surrenders unto me. So it doesn't mean that our bhakti ends now to back to Godhead. It may be is a reference that it is after many births that we really purify ourselves to that knowledge.
Yeah,
Isn't it, Prabhu?
it takes a lot of births. It takes a lot of births, Bahuna. It takes many lifetimes to come to this conclusion. Whatever we are trying to come to.
Okay.
Yes. But if we
Hare
can,
Krishna, Prabhu.
yes, but if we can come to the conclusion, then we would have skipped so many other lives.
Definitely.
That's
Sure.
Hare Krishna. Okay, devotees.